I don't want to feel safe. I want to be safe. I want to be able to protect myself. I want other people to be able to protect themselves. And going into a gun-free zone is definitely not the way to protect anybody.
There's a whole list of places where killers have actually targeted the places where people can't protect themselves.
And neither party is addressing the gorilla in the room, which is all of our mass murders, save two, since 1950, have been in gun-free zones just like the one in Orlando.
In places where the government makes it illegal or very difficult to own a firearm for protection, those are typically the most dangerous places, like Baltimore, like Washington, D.C., like Chicago. That's where people typically are waiting for the police. That's almost their only option, and sadly, a lot of people pay the ultimate price.
The problem is that we're disarming the good guys, making them sit there and wait for a bullet, which is what happens with a mass murder in a gun-free zone.
The Aurora Theater shooting, that killer had several theaters within a 20-mile radius of his home, 7 theaters that he could have chosen. He didn't go to the biggest theater, he didn't go to the closest theater. He went to the only one that had no gun signs posted. When he targeted that theater, he was relatively positive he was going to be the only one with a firearm.
We're not going to make people safe by trying to restrict access to guns, because bad guys, we have found, get access to guns no matter what. You'll impede it for the good guys, the bad guys will be armed.
Guns are used to save life in this country anywhere from 500,000 to 3 million times a year. Guns are being used to save life 16 to 100 times more often than they're being used to take life.
They are safety only in the minds of those politicians who think it's a good idea, but they don't work, and they have failed for decades.
So it's the intended victims who really are the first responders. Ultimately, people have to be prepared to protect themselves.